It's your money, millions of dollars in overtime, all coming from one department in the Lee County School District, the Transportation Department.
And while the district tries to get spending under control, we found some employees milking the clock all on your dime. Call for Action reporter Melissa Yeager joins us with an investigation into spending.
Well, the base starting salary for a bus driver in Lee County is about $27,000 a year. But our investigation found some drivers doubling that through overtime, and you're footing the bill. In this economy, the Lee County School District says OT is a no-no.
We try to look at overtime as a last resort.
But if that's the case, why did our Wink News investigation uncover driver after driver with their buses in park piling up overtime? Last year, the district spent $4.5 million on overtime. A majority of it, $3.6 million, came from the Transportation Department. In fact, a recent Transportation Department audit pointed it out as a problem, saying, quote, overtime premium pay is a considerable element in the LCPS transportation program. It also pointed out that some drivers are earning more than $50,000 a year thanks to overtime. How is it happening? We went undercover to find out and found drivers like this one. School district records show his route ends at 5:04, but 3 days in a row, just after 5 p.m., we saw him pull into a Cape Coral park and get out of the bus to go to the bathroom, then come back to the bus and wait, and wait, and wait some more for more than half an hour. We followed him as he took different routes to get back to the bus barn.
A viewer told us about some bus drivers, and we found one in particular who is sitting after his route is over for 30 minutes before actually returning to the bus barn. Is that a violation of policy, or is that acceptable?
I'd have to look specifically to find out what the route is assigned. There's a certain amount of time that's assigned. That individual who's sitting for 30 minutes might be sitting for 30 minutes because they're considered a sweep bus, and if a bus breaks down in the area or if a student is missed at a stop, they would be dispatched to pick up those students in that specific case. I don't know. I'd have to do a little bit more research.
We then received this email from the district saying the bus driver was not a sweep bus and was not supposed to be stalling after his route, and they would be looking into whether the driver needed to be disciplined. Why didn't the district know about the problem before we brought it to their attention? The audit points out that though the district has GPS on the buses, it's not being used to track the buses unless they go missing. The audit called that, quote, a waste. And the audit points out another important issue, like what's happening to this driver. He's done with his route, so he's parked outside his own home. We watched for more than half an hour. He finally gets back in his bus and drives across town to Cypress Lake High to pick up kids from after-school activities. We also found these 4 buses sitting outside the Country Kitchen on Palm Beach Boulevard, empty, not a driver in sight, all while on the clock. The audit points out none of these 5 drivers is doing anything wrong. The audit blames the system itself, saying large gaps in route times leave many drivers just waiting to go to their next stop. And it costs you. The audit estimated cutting just 10 minutes of overtime pay per driver each workday would save the district $1.1 million.
Are you guys happy with the amount of overtime you have?
Well, I don't know if happy or unhappy is the term I would use. I think what we are constantly striving for is making sure that any overtime that's used is appropriate.
So, is the overtime the district spends reasonable?
How many more teachers could I hire for that? Could we hire for that?
New school board member Don Armstrong says this is an issue he plans to look at closely.
That needs to come under control, and I mean immediately. You know, I want it cut down to nothing, next to nothing, this time next year. And if not, then I'll be asking the superintendent who we need to replace in our school district.
After we started asking questions about this issue, the district told us they wanted to ask you for your help to crack down on this problem. If you believe a driver isn't following district procedures, call the Transportation Department at 239-590-4000. They'll need the bus number, date, time, and location so they can investigate, and they say if they determine an employee did something wrong, they'll take disciplinary action. And to see the full Lee County transportation audit, you can head to our website, winknews.com. We've put a link there.
There are just so many buses out there. It's just an amazing, it could be an amazing waste of money if it's not cracked down on.
And I think that's where it kind of all adds up. You hear that 10 minutes can just save $1 million. It's because we have so many buses out on the road.
And we know you'll keep track of this and see if they make some progress.
We sure will.
All right, Melissa, thank you.